So here we are in the Shadow Mines. The enemies are right here, so we can't really do a lot of buffing up first, which is annoying. But more or less, since they have immunity to, well, not immunity, but if they have concealment, I want to try and hit them with essentially attack magic is the most effective way to fight them. And Sharmal is going to be a big help here. But first of all, we'll get some meat shields up. Hopefully the types of spells. I mean, for example, uh, the lesser orbs are not very useful at all because they require an attack roll, and there's a chance that they'll just evade them. Fortunately, Sharmal really cleans up here. I'm gonna try Body of the Sun for the fun of it. And there's another one back here. Is it just one? No, there are a couple more back here. So, time to hit him with a little bit of lightning. The reason I was considering putting off this particular set of fights is that if you have um, Death Ward, which is a level 4 cleric spell, which I'll get next level, you're more or less immune to their special attack, which drains strength. But they really aren't very good about hitting me at all, so it's really not an issue. So this guy's almost done, and it'll just be a little bit of tedium. So I'm not going to bother showing the rest of this fight, and I'll meet you back on the world map. So here we are, back on the map, and I'm actually just going to meet you back in Samargol unless there's some specific event that comes up on the way. So we're not going to go all the way back to Samrock. We're going to deal with this little group here that we've been passing by all this time. And they claim we're Yuan-Ti, and, we more or less say, no, we're not, and fight back. Now, this group isn't real hard. It's not that different from really the group in Nimber. Um, but they do have a mage, and they do have kind of time to set things up. So you, you don't want to just charge in really early in the game. There's also quite a couple more of them. Let's get rid of the wizard. Oh, Napro, what are you doing all the way up here? Oh well. I'll have her. Now, if the animal companion is just about to die, you can just unsummon it, and that way you can just resummon it later and not have to worry about it quite as much. And haste just wore off. This fight is taking a lot longer than I expected. But there goes the wizard, and all the other major enemies are dead, so it's just getting through all these little guys. Get rid of this guy who's chasing Napro around. And our dinosaur is back at full health. So, I'll clean up and see you back on the world map. So I'm actually going to go into Samargol by going into the tavern. You can just walk out the door. To hand in a quest, I should have handed in a long time ago, actually. But after that, there's a couple other things to do in town. So we're just going to talk to Captain Lastry here, and you can try and squeeze some money out of her, but all she offers to do is join your party. So you can just take her stuff. All of the NPCs that you can recruit have armor or weapons or other equipment that's unique to them. It's all worthless. You can't get any money for selling it, so you may as well leave them with it. I'm just going to leave her here, though. While we're talking cohorts, I can pick up these other two just to show them. Inshula here is more or less, if you have the right skills, you can convince her to join up without paying her. Otherwise, you have to pay money. And I guess I don't have the right kind of skills, so I'm just going to pay the money. And, it costs all 300, so it's not like I'm wasting a lot of money there. She has, again, some useless stuff that's specific to her. She's kind of a badly built ranger, but you could use her in a pinch, especially if you don't have a good leader character with survival and hide skills. So I'm going to get rid of her. The last one that is available right now is Umoja over here, who's claims to be a cleric of Ubteo, but is actually a druid. And he also has a dinosaur companion, but he's really not that interesting otherwise. And you can use him. He's one of the better cohorts available. So there's another quest I can hand in right now, which is the collection of trade bars. Since I have some, I will just hand those in, and still not enough. Once you hand in enough trade bars, it will complete the Lady's Apprentice quest and give you 700 XP. So that's worth doing. But if it doesn't happen, it's not a big deal. I'm at this point now that I have heroism and Fox's cunning and prayer, as well as inspire competence. I can put all that stuff together, and I can get my praise skill up fairly high. So that I get better prices for the stuff that I'm about to sell. This guy, Mendar here, is more or less the place to sell things. If he runs out of money, don't bother selling anything else unless you're just trying to get rid of dead weight. So I'm going to do that off screen and be right back. Now, if you look at the prices that you get for selling items, Vidinia does not pay nearly as much money as Mendar does. So you don't really want to sell anything to her unless you're essentially running out of merchants to sell things to, because they do run out of money. I am going to buy a couple things from her, and I'll mark those in the video description. I'm also going to hand in this axe that she was looking for. And if it were actually an enchanted item, you would get more money for it, but... And she wants a gem, and I actually shouldn't have talked to her because that gave me the location, and I wanted to find the location first. So I'm down out 100 XP. Whatever will I do? The other thing I came back to town for is to do some crafting. Just randomly out on the world map, I came across some encounters where I found some timber. Appraise skill is what lets you find those types of encounters. So I'm going to use that timber and make a couple of better bows for my party. And to use a recipe, you just have to be near the required object. So in this case, it's a blacksmith's workbench because I'm trying to make a weapon or armor. You go into your inventory, into the weapon recipe book, and you just click on it. And it makes it. And it uses 1 timber and 300 GP. I also picked up the Craft Magic Arms and Armor feat, so I'm going to do a lot with that. Mostly, I'm going to be casting +1 armor on, this is essentially everything I can, so that everybody has at least basic bonuses in all the AC categories. And I'm also going to be upgrading my weapons a lot, and I'll show you that when I'm done. So I've gone through and essentially cast +1 AC on at least one item for each person, so they have all of the AC bonuses. I've also made some better weapons for my archers. They both have the same one, and a better weapon for my tank. I am not upgrading this crossbow because he's not going to be using it for very long, and there's another bow I'm going to pick up which he'll end up using, so I'm not going to worry about making him another composite longbow. I don't have any other lumber, so I can't anyways. So I'll be back on the world map after resting up and getting ready to go. And I'll see you next time for the next episode where I'm going to go have some conversations with mind flayers and, well, probably kill them. But that's for next time. So I'll see you there.